First reading, a reading from the book of the prophet Isaiah. Thus says the Lord, rejoice with Jerusalem and be glad because of her. All you who love her, exult, exult with her. All you who were mourning over her. O that you may suck fully of the milk of her comfort, that you may nurse with delight at her abundant breasts. For thus says the Lord, lo, I will spread prosperity over Jerusalem like a river, and the wealth of the nations like an overflowing torrent. As nurslings you shall be carried in her arms and fondled in her lap. As a mother comforts her child, so will I comfort you. In Jerusalem you shall find your comfort. When you see this, your heart shall rejoice, and your bodies flourish like the grass. The Lord's power shall be known to his servants. The word of the Lord.
Good afternoon, everyone. So, I'm Lagman. I'm the eldest daughter of Francis and Bucci. So, I was asked to say a few words about my father. So, admittedly po up to now, hindi ko po alam anong sasabihin ko. Because my father to be such a big, sabi na nga po my father to be such a big personality. Parang ang hirap i-capture who he is with words. Kasi, po siya, parang a man full of life and full of color. Siguro my inspiration na lang is our nephew. So, Theo, he's 6 years old. Tinanong niya yung family, sabi niya, is Lolo dying? Sabi niya. And then, sagot naman ni Amy, yes. And then, sabi ni Theo, where is he going? Heaven or hell? Sabi niya. So, I wanted to start there kasi parang I somehow wanted to, I guess, reflect on the kind of man my father is. Kasi there's so many layers to him, and what I realized, with all the visits from his friends over the months sa hospital, in our home, parang ang daming stories about my dad that's so out of this world. Grabe yung adventure niya. So, the generosity, the kindness. Ang daming stories po na hindi ko alam. So, siguro, if from my personal point of view, parang if I ask myself, what kind of a man is my father? Ang word that comes to mind is exage po siya. So, sa mga hindi na bata, so exage po is exaggerated, no? Dramatic, the top, sometimes OA. Ganun po yung father ko. Pag tinitignan namin yung house, may 2 cabinets, puro jackets. Iba-ibang klaseng jackets. Ang init-init po sa Pilipinas, pero ang dami niyang jackets. You all know, mahilig siya mag-travel. 2-3 months before pa lang, nakapack na po siya. Ganun po yung daddy ko. And lately, pag nagtra-travel po, okay, titignan po niya yung site, tapos na, pero yung souvenir shop, ang tagal po niya. So siguro, if you ask him, where did you go, baka yung souvenir shop na yung maalala niya. But I recall, from school, my father is also the type na, nung magka-college ako, he would drive us from Pampanga all the way to Manila for me to be able to take the college entrance exam. And hihintayin niya ako matapos yung entrance exam kasama si mama. Tapos kakain sila ng sandwiches. So 5 po yung colleges na pinag-applyan ko. All those 5 times, hatid, sundo, paghihintay ang ginawa niya for me. So ang daddy ko po, exage po siya kasi yung iba, hindi po nila ginagawa pala yun. Yung iba kong kilala, nagko-commute pala sila. Pero my dad drove me, waited for me. Nung naglalahar po, I was in school na sa Manila. Ang dad ko, to give me allowance, sasakay pala sila ng truck. Tapos isasakay yung kotse doon with Amy para pumunta sa school. Para bigyan akong allowance, ay dala siyang adobo and whatever products from the bakery. Di ba po, exage po talaga siya. Sa bahay, alam niyo ba, ang ref namin 3. 2 lang po sila kasi they would bring food for us sa mga anak niya na nasa Manila. Ang sinigang na pinapadala niya dati po, 1 kilo of pork lang for us. Eh si Isaac, gusto pala niya ang sinigang. So yung 1 kilo, naging 5 kilos of pork po. Sabi ko sa dad ko, nasarapan ako sa tamales. So, nung sinabi kong nasarapan ako sa tamales, after that, po, wala po akong asawa, single po ako. 10 pinadala po niya. So, my dad is talagang exag siya. And then, siguro the reason I share this is because ang sarap po magkaroon ng father na exage. There are times na you will laugh about it, we will fight about it, pero ang sarap-sarap po ng father na exage. I do not remember a time where he said, I love you. I don't think my father is like that, pero dahil exage po siya, ramdam na ramdam ko po yung pagmamahal niya, without him having to say anything. So, my father, going back to my nephew, kasi tinanong niya, yung sister ko, sabi ng sister ko, I'm going to leave, sabi niya, because I want to visit Lolo. So, sabi naman ng nephew ko, so are you going to heaven? So, diba? So, ang sarap na initially, nagda-doubt siya kung pupunta si Papa sa heaven or hell. Nagdilang anghel na siguro yung nephew ko for him to be able to say he's going to heaven. So, my dad, we celebrated his milestone, 80 years. Ang dami pong pumunta at ang sarap that he was able to reach that point. Pero siguro, my prayer at this point is that he has lived long enough. He has been so blessed. And while he was very happy, he is tired. Especially the last 8 months. So I pray na lang that, totoo na may God grant him eternal rest. Sana when he meets his creator, he will be embraced so hard because he has been taught for a long time. So to everyone here, thank you. Do pray for my dad. And pagdasal natin na talagang nasa langit siya. Salamat po.
I am Cora. I am the second to the eldest. Now I am the eldest. Anyway, the family only has gratitude because I was there. My brother Victor flew in from LA. We were able to be by his side 3 hours before his death. So we were praying, we were whispering, "Oh my God," and many, many love words. You know, that's why we only have gratitude because before he lost his capacity to talk, he was able to confess. And to a good priest, and to many other good priests. Before he forgot to swallow, he was able to receive many, many communions. And after that, many, many anointings. To start with, Bishop Aniceto. So I do not know how many anointings one can have in his lifetime. He has more than enough. I was telling him in his dying hour, I said, "You will be received by my dad, by my mom. But I know my dad will hug you. But he will also scold you." But anyway, my dad must have been happy because he had the junior, he had the lawyer after him. So when my brother died, it was in the presence of Bucci, the 3 children, me, my brother, his caregivers, the 2 ones, no? Who loved him, who kissed him, who embraced him. It was not all about the payment. And also his palliative nurse, the household helpers. So what more can we ask for? So it's all glory to God, Father. Thank you, everyone. You know, friends, relatives, we felt your love. Thank you.
But I think that was Papa's way of preparing all of us because for him, it was always about taking care of the family. And in the past 8 months, all of you here, for every text, everybody who sent prayers, who sent food, who nourished us, for all the priests who nourished our souls, we are very, very thankful. Parang he just wanted us to know or that we will be taken care of. Parang I think he wanted that assurance. And damang-dama po namin yung pagmamahal. And we're so very grateful for that. To all the doctors, especially Dad who's here, Dr. Punsalan, who have guided us in this very difficult journey. To our families, who have sobrang extended families na, not just the Lagman, Narcisa family, Tita Cora, Tito Vic, Tita Che. The Sundrams, the Chuas, the Punsalans, there are so many. The Velasquez family, the Fernando family. I'm sure I'm gonna miss somebody. But just please know that we are very, very grateful. Mga kasama namin sa pang-araw-araw, hindi na nasabi ni Papa magpa-thank you, pero I'm sure they're very grateful. Yaya Zenny, Yaya Tin, Tonette, Didit, Moises, nakalimutan ba ako? Most especially his caregivers, the last, most difficult time of his life, when he couldn't take care of himself anymore. Jeric, Rob, Michelle, maraming salamat. Okay. And I think when he was already tired, he just wanted to know that Mama will be well taken care of. That was our promise to him. And we were very scared, the three, kaming tatlong magkakapatid. Pero sa pagmamahal na pinapakita niya po sa amin, especially his friends and Mama's friends, ko, pa, wala kang problemahin. Because feeling ko yung kalendaryo ni Mama mas puno pa. So, I think kung mahihilingin man lang po kami apart from prayers for Papa, is that to please continue taking care of our family. And again, for that, we are forever grateful.
Redeeming shortcomings and mistakes and sinfulness with the fervent and solemn prayers of the relatives, members of the family, and friends and associates. May God grant you pardon, mercy, and forgiveness, and grant you total rest and eternal peace in the second life. Job, very much well done, attorney. Very good and very nice. Thank you so much for the efforts, for the sacrifices, for the love, and support you have shared to all of us.